Hey Flosstube, I'm Misty Purcell. Welcome to my channel. Today is Saturday the 21st of April. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. Happy Passover if you celebrated Passover. Happy Sunday. I'm back a little bit later than I thought I would be. Life just keeps going and I keep thinking I'll make a video and then, I don't know, there's just no time left in the day. But I have 1 week of classes left, and so I'm excited about that. And I actually have had time to take a couple of walks. So all the work I have to do to create the class is done. Now I can start creating the class for next semester. Been enjoying the sun, which is like such a treat to have sun this year after all the rain that we had last year. We're still rainy, but we're having sun and it's awesome. So yeah, it's been a good spring, long semester. I'm ready to be done, almost there. Yay! So last video I asked you if you would share your misunderstood lyrics, and you guys had so many awesome misunderstood lyrics to share. I loved reading them, so thank you for sharing those with me. They gave me a laugh, and I also, on occasion, had the same misunderstanding of the lyrics, so that was kind of amusing. I'm caffeinating. It's mid-afternoon. Well, it's about lunchtime. Gotta caffeinate though. Thank you so much for your kind words on my latest design that I released and mentioned in my last video, So Tweet. Thank you for your enthusiasm, for your kind comments. Thank you for your orders. And it went really well when I taught it at the retreat. All of the people who took the class at the retreat were former stitchers who I hope I have recruited back to stitching. They seemed enthusiastic and they said that they had learned some new things from the class, so that was really exciting. The retreat was great. I said that I was going to bring cross stitch and quilting, and I didn't bring my quilting at all because when I thought about all the work it would take to pack up my sewing machine and my supplies and all of the scraps I would need to take to work on Halo, I just couldn't get excited about that. Even though I do want to work on Halo, but the amount of effort it would take to move everything there, move everything home, I just couldn't get excited about it. So I just took my stitching. I took a new design that I had worked on and I stitched the entire weekend and sat around too much, kind of hurt my back from sitting so much, but it was kind of what I needed. Like I really wanted to stitch. I had been bothered by not having that much time to stitch, and so it was good to just stitch the whole weekend. I brought my Kay's Creations floor stand with me and I stitched on that, and a lot of people were happy I brought it because then they were able to check it out in person. So I've been thinking about doing a review of that so that you could see how I use my stand because I really like it, and for me it was a really good investment. So that'll probably be a video that I'll do, I'm hoping in May. I was sad to hear about the passing of Margaret Sherry. I found out about that through, I guess, Instagram and then Facebook, but I was glad to hear that her daughter is going to be continuing to sell her designs. And Margaret Sherry is one of the first people whose designs I started stitching, you know, after learning as a kid and then getting interested in cross stitch as at the end of my time in college. Her designs were great. I've stitched at least three of them. So I was sad to hear about her passing, and I thought that I would like to do something in honor of Margaret Sherry. So I'm contemplating either a new start maybe, or there's one design that I stitched that I have never fully finished, and it might be that I take it to the framers and get it framed as a way to honor her. So I'm gonna give that a little bit more thought. And I wanted to share a design of hers as a early from the archives. You know, usually I do this later in the video, but I'll share it now. One of her designs that I stitched years ago and then fully finished last year. And just as a, you know, celebration of Margaret Sherry, I want to share it again. So I will go get that. So this, I stitched this probably about 2003 or 4, 5, and it's called, or maybe later, I don't know, mid-2000s, we'll just call it that. This is called Potpourri, I think. So I've stitched 2 of the cats designs and 1 dog design by Margaret Sherry. So you can see that there's a lot of shading and there's some long stitches. I really like the daffodil. I love daffodils. So yeah, this was sitting in my drawer for a really long time, and then last spring or summer I finally pulled it out and fully finished it. And this is a sign from Michaels that's metal that I finished it on. So I've attached magnets to the back of the fabric piece here, and so I could change it out if I wanted to. I like cats. I'm a cat lady without cats because I'm allergic. So I wanted to share that with you and just say thanks, Margaret Sherry, for your awesome designs. Okay, I wanted to mention that my friend Robin has an Etsy shop and she's been making bags and needle minders. So if you need a Darling project bag, she picks the best fabrics. If you need a Darling project bag or a very cute needle minder, you should check out her Etsy shop, and it's Magnolia Baby Creates. You can also find her on Instagram. She often posts pictures of the bags there before they go up on Etsy. So check her out if you haven't checked out her shop. Robin's awesome and very sweet. And I'll link Robin's shop below the video. So I'm excited because I finished something and I can show it to you. Can you guess what I finished? If you've been following me on Instagram, you probably know. If you haven't seen me, if you're not on Instagram, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. It's a finish. Yay! So I have been wanting to stitch this since last year. Actually, I think Robin might have been one of the people who made me want to stitch this because I believe she was stitching this, among other people. So at last, I decided to stitch this year as part of a Very Prairie Year sal that I'm doing with Helen and Barbie. And if you're new here, I'll just explain briefly that I have a plan for how I want to display this, which is that I have this decorative mirrored window in my living room on the wall. And I want to seasonally change out the sampler, have the sampler hanging in front of the window, and then I have a branch above it with some ornaments that I'll eventually make to go with it. But anyway, so this would be my winter display, and to that end I decided to change the wording from January to winter. I just used the letters that were already in the sampler, and then I made my own R at the end for winter. So I'm going to show you that. I posted on Instagram a couple days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, so my goal was that I needed to finish January before I started my birthday start. My birthday's April 30th, and so I was like, can I get this done in time? And everyone was like, yes, you can do it. So thank you for the encouragement. Helen suggested I just not sleep. I did sleep, but that's not a bad idea, Helen. Is that how you get so much done? Do you not sleep? Asking for a friend. Okay, so here it is. I'm thrilled with how it turned out. So yes, I changed the top to winter instead of January so that I can put this on display for probably January and February. Maybe March, depending on the year and how crappy the weather is. Usually I need spring to happen sooner, so it might only be like a 2-month window. Maybe I'll put it up in December, but I think I might do either December or the Christmas, is it Christmas Eve? I might do one of those. I don't know. I'm definitely doing June as a spring one, and I'm going to do July as a summer one. I already did, When Witches Go Riding. And so I don't know if I'll do any more. I have other samplers in my stash. I might do more, but for now, I've got 2 that are done. The Halloween one and this. So I changed many of the colors. The thing that's kind of weird about me is that I really liked the colors in this. I liked how soft they were. But I don't know, when I pulled them to stitch, they looked more fall than winter to me. And I really like, I think it's like 3777, the red. I really like that red, but I just didn't like it with this gray. So I ended up changing the red, and then I ended up changing this to be a darker color. The house was kind of a beigey brown, and while that color was fine, I just wasn't excited about using it. So I ended up changing this as well to more of a gold color. The door was supposed to be red, but the door kept telling me it needed to be blue. So I just went with it. I stitched the chimney and the fox, and then I decided I didn't like that color. They needed to be more orange, so then I changed that. This is changed as well. The lettering is 2 different shades of blue that aren't part of the design originally that I chose. So yeah, I did make some changes. I just couldn't help myself, but I love it. I think it's really fun. My favorite part, so I'm glad I started stitching at the top and worked my way down, because this was really slow. This went relatively quick. The house took forever, and I thought that that's part of why I didn't know if I could get done by my birthday, because it just seemed to take forever in this section, this middle section. And I started working my way down, and I got to like here, and I was still kind of like, oh, this border's gonna take a while, and it's gonna be boring. And the border wasn't boring, and it didn't take a while, and then suddenly I was just pretty much done. And I really liked doing the sledding kids, so I kind of saved the best for last, unknowingly. I mean, I liked them. I knew I would like them. I just didn't know I would enjoy stitching them as much as I did. The dog, oh, look at that tongue. Isn't that so cute? The dogs and the fox are supposed to have their eyes filled in, but I kind of just decided I liked them better not filled in, so I left them empty. So I don't know. I'll fully finish this sometime this summer. I need to look in my stash and see if I have a fabric to go behind it that I like, and then it will hang from my window, but obviously not until the appointed time, because I don't want to rush winter. In fact, winter's over. We are officially in spring, and we're not going back. So I've made it official in my stitching, and it's official in the weather and the time of year. Is there anything else I wanted to say about this? I don't know. It was awesome. I'm glad I finally stitched it, but boy, did it take forever. I started this in January, and it's the end of April. Part of that is, like, I stitch other things and that I was really busy, and part of it's just that it's slow. And so I'm cautious about starting another, because of the very prairie year. I'm trying to decide when to start another sampler, how soon, because clearly it's going to take me a while. I don't know when. Oh, I stitched this on my hand-dyed fabric. It's called Macchiato. It's 32 count, and I stitched it 2/2. It's a little bit browner than it's showing up in this, but it's pretty close. Yeah, it's a little bit browner than what you're seeing on screen. So, yay, I finished a thing that I could actually share with you. I finished other things I can't share with you yet that I'm excited about. Okay. So I've got 2 whips that I've worked on, and they are button up. I did actually work on button up for like 1 day, but then I was like, why are you need to like focus so that you can get that other one done. You know, don't spread it around too much. There isn't that much time. Don't spread it around if you want to get something done. I started this on Christmas Day with Helen and with Amy of Amy Loves Toads. I think I'm like the last woman standing at this point, as in like I'm the only one who's kind of continuing on. I think Amy and Helen have had enough of winter, and frankly, I can't blame them. So yeah, not like I made like a ton of progress. Like I said, I worked on this like 1 day, but I did stitch the house, the trees at the top, and I think the sled. So it shouldn't take me too long, I don't think, to finish this block, although these are all relatively full coverage. And so I'm debating about like how determined am I to get this done soon? Should I really crank in May and try to get this done, or just kind of keep going slowly? I'm going to see how I feel. Like I actually was enjoying working on this when I made myself go back to working on January. So I'm gonna work on it while it's fun, and then if I get tired of it, I'm just gonna take a break. So that's my philosophy right now, but I would like to have it finished this summer. This is stitched on 32 count Snow Day, which is kind of a bluish, greenish gray. Really glad I ended up choosing this fabric. I really like it on this color, and I'm enjoying it. I didn't change any of the colors on this one, shockingly. So that's that. So that'll continue to be in the rotation for as long as I guess I can stand it in May. And I also worked on the giant flag. The giant flag was my birthday start last year, and I feel that it only is appropriate that I should also stitch on this on my birthday this year in addition to my birthday start, so I will. I also think I'll plan to come back with a video again next weekend, because during Mania, even though I'm not, well, I'll talk about Mania in a minute, but I'd like to do like a video a week in May, starting with next weekend. So that's my plan, because I plan to do a lot of progress, I guess. I plan to stitch a lot. And anyway, when I come back, I want to show a video of this piece that I took at Market, because Karen Kluba had the model there. It was awesome. So I'll share that in my next video in honor of my birthday start from last year. So, yeah, this is awesome. It's gigantic. And the bad thing, so this piece takes a lot of, I don't know, concentration, thought, energy, brain power. I finished North Carolina. I ended up changing, if you were here last time, the dark blue here, there was not enough contrast between that and the blue blades here, so I changed the blue to a lighter blue. I actually really like that blue. The middle was also supposed to be the lighter blue, but I don't know, I felt compelled to make it the dark blue for some reason. So a lot of confetti. So I just forgot how long these take to stitch, because I haven't worked on it since probably August, I think. So I forgot how long these take to stitch, and just honestly how hard all those fractional stitches are. So it got like a little frustrating at times, but then I kind of hit a groove and I was like, oh yeah, I love this, that's fine. But that's just kind of gonna be probably what happens every time I put this down and then pick it back up. I'm gonna forget how hard it is, because it's gonna be exactly like stitching this first square where I was like, oh my gosh. It's gonna happen. So it might be just my reality that I only stitch it in the summers when I have more time. I don't know. It seems to be going from the like 3-year plan to the 5-year plan to the 10-year plan. And I'm like, should I just shoot for like age 50 trying to have it done? Like, is that enough time? I don't know. Anyway. So North Carolina is awesome. And then this is Rhode Island. So I started the back stitching. And then again, I was like, you know, you gotta focus on January and get that done, because you got a birthday start to start. But it's beautiful. I mean, there's nothing I don't like about it, just that it's hard. A bit hard. I failed to mention that button up, the hashtag for that is button up Sal. If you happen to want to stitch along on the giant flag, that's the AFQ Sal. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about that. That's stitched on 40 count. I'm stitching 1/2 on 40 count. It's a Zweigart soft ivory. And so, okay, that's all of my projects that I'm working on at the moment. I was dividing and conquering, so I didn't want to bring anything new in. So I haven't had any new starts that weren't my own designs. I've started my own designs this month and finished them, but I haven't done anything I can show. So I am in search of something, and I was talking, so I tried to bid on it on eBay and someone outbid me, and I was talking with Helen about it. I would really like the Bent Creek Spooky Halloween Mantle. It's a 3-part, if I remember correctly, it's 3 different charts, it's a kit, and I really want it, but it's kind of out of my price range. So I'm in search of that. If you have it and you're willing to part with it, let me know. I could trade fabric for it if you're interested in a fabric trade, like some of my hand-dyed fabric, and we could discuss that if you're interested. Yeah, if it's just hanging out in your stash and you're like, oh, I'm never gonna stitch this, or you already stitched it and you still have the chart, like I don't need the fabric, I don't need the floss, like I can come up with my own, but I would really like the charts. So if you're willing to part with it, let me know. You can email me, misty@luminousfiberarts.com. I love that thing. I keep like looking at it and just being like, oh, it's so cute. But I just couldn't, when I thought about maybe getting it for my birthday, I was like, you know, you really shouldn't. So I just couldn't splurge it. So, but if you're willing to share with me or trade or something, let me know. Okay. Plans. As I've mentioned, I feel like I probably mention this every time. So can you tell I'm excited about starting this? My birthday start. April 30th is my birthday. I got this last year for my birthday, and so I will be starting it this year for my birthday. I will be stitching it on 40 count macchiato, and all of the called for threads except the orange here they were out of, so I've got a substitute. And maybe there was like one other one, like this tree, I think. There were a couple colors they didn't have that I'll be subbing. And I have to stitch it on 40 count because I only bought enough floss to do it on 40 count and not enough to do it on a 32, but I like 40 count, so that's cool. 32 and 40 are my favorites, although I like stitching on others. I think I just like the coverage of the 32 and 40. So I'm really excited about this. I've been like in a super Halloween mood lately, which I think is weird, but then I noticed other people are too. Like a lot of people are starting to stitch Halloween, and so I feel like I must be normal and not weird that I want to do that now. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think this border is awesome. I hope I don't get tired of it. It looks really cool. Maybe I can just like do bits of it and then stitch a little bit in the middle and keep going. Because the thing is, I sometimes get bored when something's the same for too long. So if I space it out, that's probably my best strategy. So I'm starting this April 30th. My plans for my birthday, I don't fully know yet. I haven't had a lot of time to think about it other than that I'm starting this. I might watch like the 6-hour Pride and Prejudice because I love that. Or whatever else calls to me on that particular day. I'll be stitching, hanging out. I'll work on the giant flag a little bit. I don't know what else I'll do, but it's gonna be good. And I'm not working. I know that I'm not working. Amy from Amy Loves Toads had already stitched this. This was a sale last year. So she said she was gonna pick hers back up. So if you already started this and you're waiting for some motivation to pick it back up, maybe this is your time to do that. Okay. So am I doing Mania? Well, kind of. I'm gonna work on whips. Obviously, well, I'm starting Away We Ride like the day before Mania starts. So I'm counting that as like a quasi-Mania start. And then luckily I only have yay many scroll rods, so that limits how many projects I can start. And yes, I could stitch in hand. But man, I forgot how slow I am when I stitch in hand, and I tried doing that recently, and then I moved it to the scroll rods, and when I could stitch two-handed, I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I should just stop stitching in hand, ever. So yeah, I need to use scroll rods, and so I only have so many, so I can't start the main projects, and I get stressed out if I have too many going. I would love to start like 5. That's probably too many, because I still have Sally Spencer, 'Tis the Season, Giant Flag, Button Up, and then I'm gonna have Away We Ride. That's 5. So if I finish Button Up, and I think I'll finish Sally Spencer. If I finish Button Up and Sally Spencer, maybe I can start something. But so these are evolving ideas. So I don't want to, I just got done with, I'm not even done yet with a really long year of work, and I should really not like put a lot of pressure on myself to do a bunch of things, because I'll have plenty of other things to do. I'll be dyeing fabric, working on my designs. I need structure, but I don't need like to put a lot of pressure on myself. So things I would like to do, it would be nice if I would get Button Up finished and Sally Spencer finished in May. And it would be nice if I could start something else in May, but we will see. There's also like other things that I would like to work on, like my halo quilt, my mystical lanterns, crochet blanket. So we'll see what happens. I honestly, I kind of have a schedule in my mind of how my life's gonna go, but who knows, you never know actually how much time you'll have when reality sets in. I gotta work on my classes. So, I don't know. I'll be stitching in May. I'll make videos. I just, you know, I won't have 5 starts. I'll have 1, maybe 2. Okay. So I picked up, I got a couple of things for my stash. One thing is that Michael's finally started carrying the new DMC colors that were released last year, I think it was, the 35. So I was able to purchase them, and they're very pretty. I like them. So I got those, and I've got, I got this, which I saw at Market. This is one of Teresa's designs, and I got to see it in person, and I just loved it. It's so pretty. It's really impressive in person. You can see it at the end of my Market video from March, towards the end of the video where I'm in Teresa's booth. I think I put a picture of it at the end of that video. So I've been really wanting this, and I decided this was a little birthday treat for myself, and I got a few copies for my shop. So those are my 2 kind of acquisitions. And lastly, I'll just talk a little bit about my shop. So I don't have a fabric update this weekend. I will have a fabric update next weekend. Not sure which day yet. Some Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It'll be one of those days. Depends on how much I can get done this week. I still have classes, so the schedule's not quite my own yet. I'm signed up for Kathy Haberman's Scary Apothecary designs, so when she releases them, I'm set to get them automatically. So I'm not sure exactly when the next set of 3's coming out, but I'll be getting them when they come out. Fabric is selling really, really quickly. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm, all the kind things you say about my fabric. I'm so glad that you're enjoying stitching on it. The best way to be notified when there's an update is to sign up for my newsletter. I always link that in the description below every video. There's also a link on my Etsy shop. So if you'd like to sign up, that's where I announce it first before I announce it anywhere else, before I announce it on social media or by a video. I always post the fabric updates there first, so that newsletter subscribers are the first ones to find out. So you might like to sign up for that, especially if you've had trouble getting the fabric. And I don't send out emails very often, like once or twice a month, just when I have something special, you know, fabric, or I've gotten some new patterns in. I did get some Brenda Gervais patterns, some restocks, and a couple of other ones that I really like that I thought you might like too. I've gotten, in addition to the Jenny Bean's Friendship sampler, I also got a couple copies of the Magic Garden sampler. I can't remember, I apologize, I don't remember who was stitching this last year, but I just loved it. So I had to get a couple copies for the shop. It's an awesome design. Teresa's so good. Let's see. I will have a couple of like goodies or cool things in my shop next weekend, but I won't share them yet. I'll share them in next weekend's video. But I have a new design that's coming out mid-May. It's a patriotic piece. I'm super excited about it. I showed just like a tiny peek on Instagram and Facebook of one part of it. I think you'll like it. I really enjoyed stitching it. It was really fun to design, and the idea and the color scheme had been kind of floating around in my mind ever since A Bluebird's Message. So I'm doing a series of bird designs, and there'll probably be about 5 of them. I'm not done designing all of them yet, but kind of halfway through. So this will be part of that series. So Tweet is not part of the series. It just happens to be a bird. Yeah, anyway. So all the designs will be bird related. They'll be about the same size, and yeah, it was a lot of fun to design this one. It has a lot of elements that I really liked, so I'm excited to release it. Can't wait. That'll be coming mid-May. Anything else I want to say about that? I guess not. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for taking time to hang out with me. Thank you to all of you who like the videos, who take the time to leave me such nice comments. I can't tell you how much I appreciate. I know everyone's busy, and I really appreciate when you take time to hang out with me, to let me know that you like what I'm doing, or to give me encouragement. It's just such a great community. I'm so thankful, really appreciate it. So I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care.